Hey, May here. It's 5:19 in the morning on 8/19/2022. I just wanted to show you how hard I've been working. In the last 2 or 3 months, this is how many readings I've witnessed. 1,272. So, that means I think y'all got my ear pretty bad. I'm listening. My relationship with everyone on the earth, living and deceased, is really important to me, no matter how alone I feel. It's how I was made, I guess. It's my nature. I'm very grateful and blessed to have a different spot to stay right now. It comes with a whole lot of new challenges, but I know everything will work out all right. I hope everyone has a wonderful weekend. I haven't slept all night, and still have stuff to organize and move today. Still broke. But I don't know what to do next. But then again, 2-3 days ago, there was no way I could have known I'd be here. So I'm very thankful to the universe for that. See, nobody can know the next step I'm gonna make, even if I say it out loud, because the universe will be watching all of us and see how everybody tries to navigate to block that path or to get in the way so that they get received. And then, boom, it throws a kink in it and sends me somewhere else. And then, yeah, it ends up that way. But nobody knows the day or time or how. Because the ego that people possess, also known as the karmic, the other light, the one that everybody's got in their head, well, in the back of their head. The furthest thing from the mind, that the mind of everything is all attached to make this place a real big, confusing clusterfuck for everybody. Whether they've got 100 past lives, or whether they've just woken up, or whether they're just innocent and just believe in me, Don't know what to believe. Life isn't easy for anyone. Just don't think I have it easier or better than anyone. I don't blame anyone for how good they have it. So we'll just see how things go over the next few days. Told the landlord I care less about the deposit, even though it was $900. Moving into an apartment that wasn't cleaned and was all fucked up to begin with, where I did repairs on the place. Some paid for, and some receipts submitted, and some not. Plus I left a bunch of good stuff behind the garage. Should be entitled to all of it, but the way I was treated there, I don't really want anything to do with them. I don't want to hold anything against them either. I just want to move on. If he decides to send me something in the future, I just have to use the address forwarding service, or you can just keep it. The universe will judge him accordingly. It's not for any of us to judge another. Which I want to bring up. Crossed my mind something so simple today. Those that say that they're Christians, they point their finger and go, oh, tarot is evil. You shouldn't do that. Oh, if you're a Christian, yeah, you can't be doing that because only God can judge. Yeah, that's hypocrisy in the greatest degree. You gotta look out for yourself and use your intuition. You can't be pointing fingers and telling other people what's right and wrong, what's evil and what's not. Unless you want some real bad karma coming your way. It doesn't work like that. Okay? I'm just saying that compassionately. Hairball. So, those that have something against tarot readings, keep it to yourself. Which really says, if it's not for you, forget about it. You can't go around telling everybody that, hating on the Nebraska Cornhuskers and calling anybody who's a Huskers fan evil, and then think that, and say that your team is the best no matter what. And that's kind of the point of what sports, one of the points of what sports is here to remind us of. When it comes down to it, at the end of the day, everybody that's in the NFL supports the NFL. Everybody shows up, supports the NFL. And even people who don't even like fucking sports probably still might work the concession stands, still work the ballet, still help build the building, still help paint the lines, still help mow the grass, still clean up afterwards. Okay? We all gotta respect each other better. So hopefully any legal action against me will stop. Because I'm not going after nobody. That's up to God. In God we trust. With the money. And justice is blind because only God can judge. And even if you win the case, especially if it's wrongfully, or you gloat about it and all kinds of things like that, karma can take all that away from you plus more. There's never a reason to think that we have something over another person, especially in a hateful and narcissistic way. With the court case at the end of the month for my petty theft, when ICAP wouldn't give me any more food and none of the churches in town were giving out food, and God came to me, gave me a vision and told me to go and take the stuff, and while you're at it, well, they're gonna not let you do it, or if you're gonna leave your information behind anyway, you might as well get a carton of cigarettes while you're fucking at it. Either you'll have it all or you won't. It doesn't really fucking matter. Just each of us is an instrument of something greater than ourselves. But then it turned into a really ugly situation when the owner supported one of his workers to chase down somebody and assault them and back that up. And then for the police to say, well, he had a right to detain you. No, that's not actually how it works. In any convenience store I've ever worked at, you don't chase somebody down. For one, your station is behind the goddamn counter and inside the fucking building and take care of that stuff. That's why there's cameras. All the losses, especially if they've been totaled and you know what was taken, can be taken off the books and be reimbursed at the end of the year. And you don't know if somebody has a weapon. And so by allowing that, it put the entire business, it put the employee's life and my life at risk. And everyone was supporting that, including the police. And I don't believe that's how any business or system should be run, that everyone just thinks whenever they see something that they have the right to be judge, jury, and executioner, and then everyone's going to come in and be like, I don't know anything, and we're going to continue the process. We're just going to pile more on and add ourselves to the lineup at the end of the day, and then we all look like fools, or if we all win, then it looks like it's mob rule, and everyone has the right to just gang up on somebody. See, on both ends of that looks really wrong. I'm not saying that what I did was right either, but I never did, and everyone believed that what they did was all right, and they all supported each other. And when it comes down to it, I'll have an attorney, but if it was about the stuff, they destroyed all their own product in the parking lot, so it wasn't about the stuff. It wasn't about human life and welfare of mine or the employee. It was blind rage, and it wasn't responsible on anyone's part. And for doing something wrong, I was the most responsible party. I even made it apparent online what I was going to do 30 minutes in advance. I went in and I grabbed exactly what I was instructed to grab. And I left all of my information, including my social security number and my address. And so I wouldn't say that I was stealing exactly. I took maybe what didn't belong to me, but none of that stuff belongs to them either. It belongs to the bank. And it doesn't belong to the bank either, because the bank borrowed the money from all the people. And off of our bodies of labor. And so who does that stuff and who's the money really belong to? It sure doesn't give anyone a right to harm another human being. And so when it comes down to court, I'd be willing to drop the assault if they'd be willing to drop their charges and the form that was never legally filled out, that the police officer didn't have on hand, where it was a trust form saying I couldn't come back on the property. So if we can just squash that beef in court and agree that everybody might have been mistaken all the way around, and we all learned a good lesson about responsibility, about how things should be handled, and respect, and caring for each other more than about money and stuff and power, then I think we should all just be able to walk out of there and forget about the day and just move forward like it never happened, other than the lessons we've learned. And that's all I have to say today. It's 5:32 a.m. I better take a shower, continue working, not knowing where anything will take me today, to finish settling in, to go apply for jobs. I don't have anything set up I don't know what to put online. I don't know where God's going to take me, and who I'm supposed to meet next. And the people I'm staying with have plenty of their own problems. And so I can't be their savior, and they really can't be mine. And that's a new balance that we're learning step by step too, is boundaries. Just because I'm under someone's roof, that doesn't make them my owner and to tell me how to do things. And just because I live here, I'm not going to take advantage of their hospitality and invite anybody over, or just take anything I want, or anything like that. And through living with lots of people, I find that people tend to overstep those boundaries pretty frequently. You turn your head to the side and you're stealing cigarettes out of your pack, kind of thing. As soon as you leave the house, they're in your room, digging through all your stuff. And one way or another, whether it's the host or the guest. And that's really ugly and despicable and gross. And I want everybody to know, if they didn't know already, that there ain't nothing that nobody on the face of the earth can get away with. It doesn't matter if anybody saw it or not, especially if you thought about it beforehand and then you did it. You might as well just put it online and told everybody, hey, he's getting ready to leave the house. I'm going to go through all this shit. And then when he gets home, I'm going to pretend like nothing happened. And so I want to see 100,000 views on this. Because, like my mother used to say, well, right there, right in front of God and everybody. Yeah. Ain't that the truth, huh? Sometimes the line of what's right and wrong also is difficult when you're sharing a place or looking after somebody as well. And you tell them, hey, you maybe shouldn't do that, especially since we're kind of sharing interests, And I'll always get, don't even start with me. I'm the one that's helping you. And then when they take a fucking bullet in the ass, then all I can do is just stare off into space and not say nothing, and then resentment builds up, even though I was there for them before and after, and I'm not going to push the issue. And that's always really hard to deal with too. How do you love somebody, especially a stranger? You can't help them, and then you're chained together. If they go down, you go down. And that happens commonly whenever I befriend somebody. It's like they think they're invincible suddenly, and it all go down, or hold them up no matter what. And no matter what I do, I can't fucking keep anybody's head above water if they can't hold their own head up above water. And I ain't going down unless the universe wants me to die. But I've heard it many, many times through so many sources because of who I am. No matter how tough it gets for me, I have to believe and endure it. And they say, and death shall not take him. And so we're all learning about respect the world over, and a deeper kind of unconditional love. So I want everybody to have a wonderful day. Love y'all. Bye. For now.